Good morning, my kindergarten friends and everyone else who's joining us on our chicken hatching journey. Today I have kind of an assortment of things to do with you today. I have a poem to share with you. I have a book to share with you. I have a couple of things I want to get down in our chicken hatching journals. So if you need to go get your chicken hatching journal, go grab it now and a pencil. I'll wait. Just push record. Push play, pause. That's the word I'm looking for. Push pause. I'll wait. And then you can come back. Okay, so here we go. So the eggs have been in the incubator. They seem to be doing fabulous. The temperature is holding. I keep adding water so they're staying nice and moist and humid. The turner is moving them. So it's time to learn a little bit more, or at least to write down some of the things that we've been learning about those eggs. So I'm going to start first with a poem, because the last lesson I sent to you was about oviparous animals versus non-oviparous or viviparous animals. So oviparous animals lay eggs. And I read the story, chickens aren't the only ones. And we learned there are lots of animals that lay eggs to have their babies. So I have a poem about eggs that goes right along with that. And hopefully you got to do that sorting activity where we decided which animals laid eggs and which animals did not lay eggs. But here's a really fun poem. It's called Eggs. Imagine that. Lots of animals come from eggs, some with fins and some with legs, some that chatter and some that cheep, some that fly and some that creep, some that slither and some that run, some with feathers and some with none. Animal eggs can be quite small, or just as big as a tennis ball. The animals here, they're quite a few, hatch from eggs and lay them too. That was a fun poem about eggs. I'm going to go, when I'm done here, I will go hang this up in our chicken corner by the incubator so that we can have it up there as a reminder of our fun poem. All right, so today's book that I have for you, I actually learned about it from Mrs. Peregrina. She had one in her classroom last year when we were hatching eggs. And so I bought one for myself because the pictures are beautiful. And the lesson is good too, because we're learning about eggs. So this book is called An Egg is Quiet. And I'm hoping at some point when we all get back together that you can look at this book in person and up close, because it's showing up okay on my camera. I know there's a little bit of a glare, but this is a very, very beautiful book. An Egg is Quiet. I love this end paper because this is the color and specklediness of somebody's egg. I think this is some kind of a bird egg, not a chicken egg, but it is beautiful. And then on our next pages, and again, I'll be moving the book back and forth to show you as much of it as I can. This is a fun page. Remember this page because when we get to the end, I'm going to show you one that connects to this. So these are all kinds of eggs, and they have names under them. So here is a bird's egg. This is a green vegetable bug's egg right there on that leaf. This is a lobster egg. Here's an emperor penguin's egg. Look at all the different sizes, the different shapes. This is a rounder egg. Down here, there's a salmon egg. Right up here, those little tiny yellow things are ladybug eggs. This doesn't look like any egg I've ever seen. I know we're going to learn about it. Leopard frog eggs, butterfly eggs, katydid eggs on that leaf, and lots of different bird eggs. Ooh, an iguana egg, a robin's egg, a turkey egg. All right. Pretty awesome, aren't they? An egg is quiet. An egg is quiet. This is a black-necked stilt egg. Pretty sure that's a bird. It sits there under its mother's feathers, on top of its father's feet, buried beneath the sand, warm and cozy. So we have a hummingbird sitting in her little nest on her eggs, keeping them warm, which is what chickens also do. My kindergarten friends, you know about penguins and how the father puts that on his feet and fluffs his belly skin down over it to keep it warm. Turtles dig a hole in the sand and put them in there and then cover them up with sand to keep them warm. So right now our chicken eggs are in the incubator. That's how they keep warm and moist. And then these are the ways the animals do it. An egg is colorful. Look at all those different colors. And they're smooth and they're plain colored and they're speckledy colored. Look at that, that's a cricket egg. It looks like a little miniature banana. Those are all beautiful eggs. An egg is shapely. There are round eggs, there are oval eggs, there are pointy eggs, there are even tubular eggs. Remember we saw that at the beginning? I'm going to go back and read the direction or the description underneath. So round eggs. Sea turtles dig a hole in the sand with their flippers and lay up to 200 soft round eggs. Round eggs fit together nicely in tight spaces. Oval eggs. When ladybugs hatch as larvae, that's a ladybug egg, their first meal is often the egg case they crawled out of. So they pop out of this egg and then they eat that part as their first meal. Pointy eggs. This is a common murray. Seabird eggs are pointy at one end. So if they're laid on rock ledges, they'll roll around in little circles, not roll off the cliff. So a regular egg, if you put it on the counter and it slides out, it can roll off. If this pointy egg is on the counter and it starts rolling, because it's big at one end and small at the other, it goes around in a circle. So it won't fall off the edge. And this funky tubular egg is from a dogfish. It's from a dogfish shark. So while most sharks give birth to live young, some sharks, like the lesser spotted dogfish, begin life in a leathery egg case with tendrils. That's the little curly things on the ends. The tendrils anchor the eggs to seaweed so they won't be swept away by the ocean current. An egg is clever. The markings on some eggs help them blend in with their surroundings. This is called camouflage. Camouflage is an egg's way of hiding. An egg might be speckled to resemble the rocks around it, or it might be gray, the color of mud by a lake. An egg does not want to be eaten by a raccoon or a snake or a fox or an insect. So use your eyes and look carefully because there are eggs hiding on this page. Do you see them? There's one for sure, right there. Eggs come in different sizes. An ostrich egg, flatten my book a little bit, can weigh as much as 8 pounds. That's kind of like a pretty big baby when it's born, is 8 pounds. That's what an ostrich egg can weigh. It is so big and so round, it takes 2 hands to hold one egg. Hummingbird eggs are the size of a jelly bean. It would take about 2,000 hummingbird eggs to equal the size of one ostrich egg. So here's my big ostrich egg. And here are 2 tiny little hummingbird eggs. So 2,000 of those to equal the same size as that. An egg is artistic. Look at all the different designs and colors and squiggles. And these are kind of hanging off that leaf by a thread of some kind. And the egg is floating out here in the breeze. It's a green lacewing insect of some kind. Katydids, harlequin bugs. And it says all eggs on this page are larger than their actual size. They just put them big there so we can see all the beautiful details. I love the stripy, the squigglies, the speckledies. This one has, one side is beautifully blue and plain, and the other part has some of the squiggles on it. This one almost looks like a nut of some kind. Beautiful. An egg is textured. There are hard eggs and soft eggs and gooey eggs. There are smooth eggs and rough eggs. So bird eggs are hard. Reptile eggs are often soft and rubbery. So this is an iguana egg. We talked about the turtle eggs being round and soft. Amphibian eggs are gooey. Frogs are amphibians. The goo keeps them from drying out. So they're kind of in a pile of slime that keeps them all moist. Most bird eggs are smooth. The eggs of cassowaries, emus, and cormorants are rough. So this bumpy, the spotted part of this is really a bumpy texture that you could feel if you could hold it in your hands. An egg might even be fossilized. Look at that crusty old egg. The remains of creatures that died millions of years ago may become rock hard or fossilized. Scientists have unearthed fossilized dinosaur eggs all around the world. Some are round and some are oblong. That's that oval shape. Some are as small as 1 inch across, and some are as large as 20 inches. That's almost 2 rulers. That's bigger than an ostrich egg. Scientists believe all dinosaurs hatched from eggs. An egg is giving. So this is showing what's happening in our chicken room right now. At 3 days, 7 days. We just did day 9, so ours are just a little bit bigger than that. 13 days, 18 days is when we stop turning them around and start waiting for them to hatch. Inside fish eggs, it takes 11 weeks. Ours takes 3 weeks. 21 days is 3 weeks. Fish eggs at 2 weeks, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, 11 weeks. Then they turn into adult fish. Well, they hatch out as fish. And that one is a salmon. This is a grasshopper. And it takes at least 2 weeks. So it says 2 days, 5 days, 7 days. Down here's 15 days, so that's a little over 2 weeks. And then it says a grasshopper embryo rests inside the egg until the weather is just right. And then it decides to come out. Here's the picture that we have in our chicken room. Except for our embryo was just a little dot. So remember, an egg gives the little creatures growing inside it everything it needs. The shell is its home. The yolk is its food. The egg white, or albumin, is its pillow. The shell is covered with teeny tiny holes which allow air to enter. Remember, that's where the moisture also stays in there, so it gets in there, so it keeps it all nice. So we had our shell with the membrane on the inside, our yolk, our albumin, our air sac, then those curly cords that hold the yolk in the middle, they're calling it the protein cord. We know that other word called chalaza. And then our embryo in our egg picture is just the white dot that turns into the embryo. This is the embryo after about 7 days. So that's about what it looks like after a week in there. An egg is quiet. Then suddenly, so this is our black-necked stilt egg, I see big red feet. And I see a little tiny hole. So the egg is quiet, and suddenly an egg is noisy. Cheep, 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 beep, 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 beep. Or for the insects, it's crunch, 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 because they're eating everything they can find to get to their next stage of life. And look at this page. So do you remember, I said, check this page out carefully. All of those eggs have now hatched. And this is what comes out of them. So lots of birds. There's a butterfly, a blue crab, our penguins, our iguana, our cricket. Remember that one that looked like a banana? Here's our dogfish, shark, our ladybug, and all of those awesome other birds. So there's that green lacewing that I said was an insect of some kind. And there it is. And our beautiful blue page. Okay, so an egg is quiet until it's not. I hope you enjoyed that beautiful book. I love the pictures in there. So my friends, we need to do some catching up in our chicken hatching journal. We've learned some things and we haven't written a lot of it down. So I want to go back. We have our cover that's up front, and you can staple it if you had staples, or just fold it and keep it together if you didn't. So on our first time in our egg hatching journal, we learned about the egg life cycle. So there's our egg, and when it hatches, we have a hatchling. When it gets dry and fuzzy, it's a chick. And then it becomes either a girl chicken or a boy chicken, a hen or a rooster. We did our inside an egg lab. So we have the picture like in our egg book in the chicken room, but in our journals, we chose to draw the picture of what we saw when I cracked open an egg on our plate. So our shell, here's our 2 pieces of shell. The membrane was that thin skin looking thing on the inside of the shell. We know there was a big bubble at the end of one part of the shell for our egg sac, our air sac, sorry. And then we had the white, or the albumin. The yolk was in the middle, our chalaza or protein cords, and that little tiny dot that is our embryo, that because we have hopefully some fertilized eggs in the incubator, it will grow. So today, because we put our eggs in the incubator, I kind of want to draw our incubator. So if you'll flip your page over, and remember we're going to use the top half of this today for our incubator. We want to give a title to our page so that when we look through it later, we'll go, oh yeah, this is what the day we drew the incubator. So incubator And again, a title always starts with all the words start with a capital letter. We're only writing one word today. So it's going to start with a capital I. Let's think about the word incubator. Chunk it up. Incubator. So if you know the word in, that's how it starts. Capital I. N. In. Q sounds like the letter Q, but it's two letters together. It's not Q. It's C and the U. In Q. Bay. B-A. And tor. T-O-R. Incubator. So our incubator, there's lots of different sizes and styles and shapes of incubators. The one we used last year that didn't work very well was a rectangle shape and it was white. Our incubator this year is a circle and it's yellow and clear. We have a great view of our eggs. So I'm going to put across the bottom, I'm going to start with the dome shape. So there's a bubble that goes up on both sides like that. There's our clear plastic dome. And on the bottom of that clear plastic dome is that circle shape where the eggs are laying on. But we have this big, beautiful yellow base. So there's our bottom part. And then I didn't finish my dome at the top because remember that's the part where the little readout is that tells us, I show it to you a lot, that shows what temperature it is and how many days we're on. It's the motor that kind of works the whole thing. So it's actually kind of a bump up right there. That's our big square plastic motor. And then right here on the inside is where we have our eggs. And so there are 6 of our eggs in our incubator. And that's kind of when we stand next to the table and I show you the picture so you can see the eggs. That's the view that we see. If you want to know what's happening on the top, you could also draw a circle over here if you have room. And then there's a rectangle right in the middle of it. And in the box it says temp, which is short for temperature. T-E-M-P. And after that it says 99, which is 9 point, that's a dot, like a period, 5. And underneath it says day, D-A-Y. And the day changes depending on how many days they've been in there. But we started with day 21 because it takes 21 days to hatch an egg. And that's what it looks like right on top of there. So I'm going to draw an arrow so I know that that's what it says on the top of our incubator. Okay, so we put our eggs in the incubator. After we learned what all the names of the parts of the eggs are. And we've talked about the life cycle of the chicken. And the last book, as I said, we learned about oviparous animals. So the book that we read last week was Chickens Aren't the Only Ones. And today we read that beautiful book about An Egg is Quiet. So we know that chickens lay eggs, but there are lots of other animals that lay eggs too. So we're going to write 2 short sentences, and then you're going to get to pick how to finish your second sentence and draw your own picture. So now we're going to go down to the bottom half of our journal, and we're going to start writing, and it's going to say, the first part is going to say chickens lay eggs. All right, so we're going to start our sentence way at the top. We're going to start with a capital. And we talked about the chicken word is ch, that CH sound. So capital C, H, ch. I, C, K. There's chick. Now we need to make it say chickens. E, N, S. Chickens. Good word. We're going to leave a space. Our next word is lay. 3 letters. You hear 2 sounds. L, A, Y. Lay. Chickens lay. Good space. Moving on. Last word is eggs. E, G, G. And they don't just lay egg, because that doesn't make sense. Chickens lay egg. Chickens lay eggs. S for more than one. Chickens lay eggs. There's my first thought. I'm done. So I need a period at the end of my sentence. Chickens lay eggs, but they're not the only ones. So do lots of other things. So we're going to start. Leave a good space. We're going to write so do. 2 words. Here we go. Capital S, beginning of a sentence. So leave a good space. Do, lowercase d, o. So do. Now it's your turn. You get to pick whichever other animal that lays eggs is your favorite and write it in here. Now, I want you to write it the best way you know how. I want you to listen for the sounds. I want you to write the letters, and then make sure when you're done writing it, you put a period at the end so you're done. So yours might say, chickens lay eggs, so do penguins. Yours might say, chickens lay eggs, so do iguanas. Chickens lay eggs, so do butterflies. You're going to pick whatever it is you like best besides a chicken that lays an egg and put that word. If you don't have enough room right here, remember you just go downstairs and over and put it right here. And don't forget to put your period at the end. Chickens lay eggs, so do ants. My second thought is done, and then you have all this room to draw and color your picture. And don't forget to color your incubator too. Now ours is yellow on the bottom, and I think this part is black, and there's some blue stuff around the top. It can be whatever color you want it to be. If you're being a scientist and you're recording exactly what we're doing, then you might want to keep it yellow and black. All right, my friends, have fun with that. Pick an awesome other animal that lays an egg and do some drawing and coloring. And don't forget, that animal needs a background. It can't just fly through the sky. It needs to be sitting down or laying down, or unless it's a butterfly and it does fly through the sky, then you could put it in the sky. Lots of the birds do too, but you still need some background to go with it. Show me the sky. All right, friends, I'll keep checking in on the eggs every day, and I'll talk to you guys in another video. Bye.